You are all so important to us. And please understand how sincere I am with this. You have direct contact with all the kids. You want to come over? And you might want to get in the shade too.
I was.
Yeah. You have direct contact with these kids, so therefore you are the main source. Your attitude, when you come in and you start working with the kids, your attitude, your body language, your words, and your actions speak louder than anything else than what Higher Ground stands for, our morals, our values, our vision, our mission. It's what you do every day that defines what Higher Ground is, number one, but more importantly, what we're doing for these children. This whole thing started with me walking the streets late at night, and I met three homies, and we talked about stuff. They were 17, 18, 19, and we talked about what was going on in their lives. And I knew as a middle-aged white guy speaking with teenage Hispanic guys, there wasn't a whole lot that we had in common. But sports was one of those 3 or 4 things we did, and so we talked about sports. And that led to them bragging about how they dominated on the courts or on the field or whatever. And so I challenged him. I said, you know, I would love to see, this kid was about this big and he was telling me how he slam dunks. And I said, I would love to see you slam dunk. I've never seen someone that short slam dunk. So we ended up playing basketball 2 days later at the park, and that was the start of Higher Ground. I brought a couple of my buddies. I asked him to bring his friends, and between the two of us, we had 10 people. So we played 5-on-5. But it was in the break time where I brought sandwiches, chips, Cokes, and whatnot, where we talked, that the magic happened. Because that's where they told us more about their lives, and we shared with them things that we thought about. Things that we thought about maybe they shouldn't be doing, what might get them into trouble, and really what the right path was. So here every day, if you're kicking a soccer ball or doing art, or some of the awesome things that we're going to be doing. By the way, we've got fashion design now. We've got girls from FITM. We've got middle school, high school, and college ladies that will be designing clothes. And the goal, of course, is to have a fashion show towards the end of the summer. We have animation, as well as graphic arts and video. And a whole lot more, and we'll tell you more about that. The point is that whatever it is that's going on, whatever it is you're doing to engage these kids, that's Higher Ground. So please take advantage of it, especially when there's downtime. You can have a friendship and a relationship by playing soccer with them or doing one of the 25 things we're going to be doing, but it's when we sit down and have a cold cup of water, or bottle in this case, or have an orange or an apple, or have a lunch or a dinner or whatever it is, and you're sitting there, that is your golden age time to let them talk. Ask them questions, prime the pump. Again, you're the backbone. I don't know how else to say that. We have over 300 kids registered, and I'm hoping we have at least 290 show up. And Monday, the very first day, and Tuesday, the second day, is going to determine how many are going to be coming back after that. So if we blow it, if we're disorganized, if we're sitting on our keister, if we're not engaging and making sure these kids are having fun, they just won't come back. So it is a bit of a challenge that I'm telling you that these kids are kind of giving us a chance. The new ones I'm talking about. The other ones love us and they'll just keep coming. But it's all the new ones. It's, you know, the old first impression thing. We've only got one shot to make a first impression. Okay. So with that in mind, the next thing I want to share with you, and this is longer than I want it to be, and I apologize, is that you've all heard the term, there's many parts to the body, right? Please understand that we take that very, very seriously. The feet, the hands, the eyes, the nose, the arms, the legs, they're all different, and they have all different unique aspects about them, and their role is unique to them. You're all part of that. We are all one body, we are all one family, and whatever it is you do, whether you're in charge of animation or basketball or fashion design or just getting the milk out and that it's cold, and making sure the kids drink it and throw it away, that's all equally important to us. So that said, please know that we are one family. And one last thing about family, I'm sure you know who our target audience is. Many of them don't have the family structure that we are all blessed to have. And so because of that, Higher Ground needs to become their family. We need to be that positive influence. We need to be the ones that make them create that self-worth, to affirm them as someone lovingly did to you, whether it's your mom, your dad, your aunts, uncles, grandparents, coaches, teachers. We are them for those kids. Okay? So please plan on having the best summer of your life. This is going to be awesome. And whenever it's not, come see me. If you love what's going on, tell the world. If you don't tell anybody, just come to me. I want to know about it, and we'll fix it. Okay? I love you all, and I'm so happy you're here. God bless you all.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all excited. I'm going to go over the Leaders Code of Conduct. It's one of the sheets you received before the orientation. This is really very, very important. I'm going to start with attend your scheduled days and times on a consistent basis. So if you say you're going to be here on Mondays and Wednesdays, please make sure to show up on Mondays and Wednesdays. If the kids are here and they oftentimes ask for you, and if you're not here, the kids get sad or they'll stop coming. So please, be consistent with the days and times that you said you were going to be here. Always be prepared, be on time and be prepared. If you're in charge of basketball one day or arts and crafts or dance, please come with a plan. That way we're not wasting time when the kids get to the activity. And never be alone with a child. So the rule is you can't be alone with a child, even if it's just going to the restroom or sitting outside. We always want you to be with an adult, at least 2 or 3 children, if not 2 adults and 1 child. This is for your safety and for the safety of the child. When you arrive to Higher Ground for your shift, make sure you always sign in, whether you're a volunteer or a Teens to Work, Scholar to Work. Make sure you sign in, you clock in. If you don't sign in or clock in, we won't know what times to pay you for or what times to give you credit. So always make sure you clock in. Be a positive role model. You're the role model for the kids. We might even only be the only role models for the kids. They come from troubled families, so always be positive reinforcement. If you see any issues with any of the kids, let Debbie, Adolfo, or myself know, or Aaron. So be aware of the students that you work with. So it's at youth risk. So their behavior is often directly related to the problems and or changes at home. So the next thing that's bolded, information disclosed by the student regarding possible neglect or abuse must be reported immediately to the Director of Leadership Development, which is Debbie, the Program Director, which is Aaron, and then the Executive Director, Joe. So if any of the kids tell you that they're being abused at home or they're being hit or there's something going on at home, please make sure to tell us. That way we can follow up with the child. Okay, observe student confidentiality. So don't talk about if there's an issue, if some of the kids, don't talk outside of work about what the kids' problems are. Make sure we only talk about the kids at work. If there's abuse, neglect, that's very important. We have to tell Debbie, or we have to tell one of the leads that there's abuse at home, neglect, anything. just so we can make sure the kid is safe. And then if there's any change in your work schedule or volunteer schedule, please make sure you email Debbie, or you let Erin know, or Erin or Debbie. That way we can make the change in your schedule and we don't have to like wait around to see if you are coming or not. Because we do depend on you, especially if the kids depend on you, we depend on you. So if you're not here, it's hard to run higher ground. And you do have to sign this sheet. So it says leader's name and then your signature. If you don't have a pen, you can wait till the end, and we have pens out in the front. Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Isabella. I am also on our lead team here at Higher Ground, and I have a bunch of things to talk to you about, so I'm going to try and go as quickly as possible. So we're going to start with how to respond when an active shooter is in your vicinity. A little bit of a change of pace here. The number one thing that you want to try to do is evacuate. You want to have an escape route and a plan in mind to get out. So don't just kind of run aimlessly. Make sure you know where you're going. You have to evacuate regardless of whether others agree to follow. Again, we work with kids here, so you want to try and have them go with you, but we're really just trying to keep everybody safe, and if there is an evacuation plan, go. You want to leave everything behind. You can replace your phone in your bag. You can't replace your life. I'm sure a million people have told you that before. Help others escape if possible. Again, this is particularly important for us working with the kids. We don't want to like terrify them or anything, but really just explain the sense of urgency. We have to get out of here right now. Do your best to get everybody out. Prevent individuals from entering an area where the active shooter may be. So if you don't know what's behind a certain door, don't go behind that door. You just don't know. It could be unsafe. You want to keep your hands visible. This is just if the police arrive, they know you're not the threat. Follow any instructions of a police officer. Do whatever they tell you to do. Call 911 when you're safe, and don't move anyone who is wounded. If you cannot evacuate, you want to hide. So you want to try and get out of the shooter's view. You want to get behind a door, behind a desk, behind a cabinet, anything you can to hide out. Keep yourself safe. Try to get the kids in the same place. Turn off your cell phone ringers. Turn off anything that can make any noise and alert the shooter of where you are. Turn off the TV. Try to tell everybody to be as quiet as possible. Blockade the door with anything heavy in the room. Really just anything to keep yourself safe. But you want to make sure if you are hiding that there's a place to get out. So don't go in like a closet where if you are found you're stuck. You want to make sure there's a window or another way out, something like that. Always lock the door, remain calm, call 911. Even if you can't speak, leave the line open so they can hear what's going on. And as a last resort, and only if you are in imminent danger, this is a very, very last resort, take action. Throw things at the shooter, yell, commit to your actions. Don't throw something then run, because that's a bad idea. So again, only if you are in imminent danger should you take action, but if that was the case, throw things, act aggressively, scream as loud as you can, anything like that. Does anybody have any questions? All right, let's go to guidelines to managing children. All right, so as you guys can see, we have 8 different things here. I'll try to get through them. All right, as quickly as possible. Number 1 is engaging the kids. This is so, so important here at Higher Ground. We are not a babysitting service. We want to make sure we are always 100% of the time interacting with the kids. If they're playing a game, you are sitting right there playing it with them. If they're doing Taekwondo, you're right in there punching and kicking. It's really, really fun. They're going to want to follow you. They're going to think you guys are all like the cool older kids. They want to do what you want to do. So if you're sitting there like, oh, this is boring, then they're going to think it's boring too, and that's of course not what we want. So make sure you're always, always participating with them 100% of the time. Number 2 is strategic placement, and this is equally as important. We want to make sure that the leaders are spread out amongst the kids. So if there's 4 kids in a line, we don't need all the leaders at the front. We want them strategically placed within the line. So you're always with a couple kids and not with the other leaders. That leads us right into our sphere of influence. And what that means is that the kids that you're around, and hopefully no other leaders that are that close to you, those are the ones that you're talking to and that you're engaging with. Those are the kids that you want to kind of have in your, like under your wing a little bit. So if they're not listening and they really should be, that's the kid that you want to say, hey, listen up. If somebody's talking, you want to really engage with them, because this could be like Tatiana was mentioning, this is a really big deal for them and they need to have you guys as role models. So make sure you really are keeping that strategic placement in the sphere of influence in mind at all times. Like I said, if you're doing Taekwondo, you're kind of strategically placed around the room, not all the leaders over here and all the kids over here. That way they all have somebody they can turn to within like 2 steps to ask a question. You know, if they're having any trouble, that's a good thing. Number 4 is shepherding the kids, so we want to make sure that they are never ever alone. As Tatiana mentioned, we do walk them to the bathroom if they have to go with hopefully a couple of kids, a couple adults, whatever works to not be alone with a child. They go from activity to activity with their group and with their leader. So that's really, really important. You know, if you're done with art and they're going to music, I know, you know, it might just be one door away, but they can't go alone. You say, all right, we're all going to go together, and that's 100% of the time. If somebody has an injury and they need to go to the nurse's station, one of the nurses that we have helping us out will take them. If a nurse is not available, one of the leaders will take them. They're always, always with an adult. The next thing is communications with the children. So as we all know, we really like when people make eye contact with us, nod along. It shows that they're listening. The exact same goes for when you're talking to these kids. So, you know, get on your knees, make sure you drop down to eye level with them, and that way they'll really feel like they're being heard, which is what we want here at Higher Ground. The next thing is disciplining a child. It'll happen to everybody. Sometimes the kids are just acting out. The first thing you want to do is just identify who's causing the issue and give them a warning. Nothing mean, don't be harsh or anything, just, hey, you know, please don't do that. It's really disruptive, and if you continue doing it, we're going to have to stop doing the activity. If it continues, we're going to again say, you know, this is a problem, and you have to separate them from the group at this point. Bring them away from the activity and speak with them. Say, why are you doing this? What are you doing? You know, just kind of try to get to the problem. And if they're like, okay, you know, I'm sorry, and you really think that they're gonna be better, okay, go back, okay. Then if it continues, you have to discipline them. So we're going to have to bring them to Debbie, our Director of Leadership, Aaron, our Director of Programming, bring them into the office, Joe, the Executive Director. There will be someone who can help more because sometimes they just won't stop, which is always a problem. So that, again, after you've given them a warning and tried to speak with them, then you bring them to the office. Don't just pull them out and say, all right, we're leaving. That's really important because, you know, kids make mistakes, it happens. But that is an option if necessary. And then if anything continues with that, then somebody in the office will figure that out. All right, the next one is handling confrontation. So if the kids start fighting or arguing or disagreeing, make sure you separate them first things first. That's the most important thing to start with. Find out what the problem is. As it says here, I'm sure they're going to have different stories. You know, he started it, she started it, he did it, I didn't do anything. Try to get to the root of the story, by separating the kids. One leader's talking to one, another leader's talking to another. And then if you really can't see what happened, again, this goes back to the discipline thing. We can bring them to the office and have maybe Debbie figure it out. But again, try to get to the bottom of it, what happened, have them apologize, shake hands, something like that. So the office shouldn't be like a first offense kind of thing. It's more of a last resort. And then injuries. If a child is injured, you must report the injury to either the program director or director of leadership, regardless of how minor it is. So even if they have a cut, let's get them a Band-Aid. We don't want anything getting infected or anything. We want to just make sure everybody's totally safe here. All right, does anybody have any questions on those things? Okay, just really quickly before I finish up, I'm also handling social media here at Higher Ground. We have a Facebook page. Please, please, please go like it. Right when you leave this orientation, it's Higher Ground Youth and Family Services. We are going to do a Leader of the Week kind of thing, so a lot of you will be featured there. Our website is highergroundoc.org. Check it out. We have updates sent through email. So please go like our Facebook page, check out our website. You're all going to be on it very soon. That's it for me.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Adolfo, and I'm here, a leader here at Higher Ground Youth and Family Services. If everybody turn to your Higher Ground quick reference guide, please. Everybody there? All right, we're going to go to the and read again the Higher Ground mission, which is our mission is to empower at-risk youth to choose a fulfilling life by engaging them with positive mentors who model good decision-making based on strong ethical values, being responsible, working well with others, and establishing the greater goals to achieve their full potential. With that said, just keep in mind every single time that we're here, again, I know we're repeating this, but you know, it's over and over again. Everything that we do here, the kids learning. They learn what we see. If there's trash on the floor and we pick it up, then the next thing you know, when the kid sees it, he's gonna pick it up. If you say hi to your friends, if you greet them, then all that good behavior, they're just gonna copy and take it right on. Now, is everybody have their forms and requirements? Did we get all your IDs and pictures scanned? If we didn't, please see us after. Going again on hours and scheduling. So again, if you are going to be late, if you're not going to attend one day, please let us know within advance so we can know. And if everybody get your phones out, please. We're going to write down we're going to punch in our number from Aaron Clark, which is our program director here at Higher Ground during the summer. So the phone number, we're going to make a quick correction, and that is 714-261-1915. I'm going to go over it again. 714-261-195. And it's important that we have her number. That way, again, if you're late or if you're not going to come in, please contact Erin right away. That will be filling your spot. Because the program it is due ahead of time. But again, the kids are counting on you. We're counting on you. So please let us know.
Can you repeat the number again?
The number again is 714-261-1915. Again, our dress code. Please, if you're gonna bring shorts, no short shorts, please. Again, we're modeling good behavior. Please dress it properly. Guys, I know sometimes it's gonna be the summer. It's gonna be very hot. Please don't bring tanks. We will provide you with a shirt. If you are here more than 3 days, like if you're here 5 days a week, we do have shirts available for sale. Always have your badge on you at all times. We need to identify everybody that's going to be here. If we have somebody that is visiting, or just some intruder, we need to identify them and get them out of here for safety of our children. At all times, please have closed-toe athletic shoes. Again, you're going to be walking around with the kids, engaging in sports. So if you bring, sandals, it's gonna keep you away from, playing with the kids. If you bring Converse, you're probably gonna get tired at the end of one play soccer as well as if you bring tennis shoes. Please keep all your personal belongings at home, like laptops and iPads and so forth. We don't want them to, if you bring them here and it gets lost, just please keep them at home. When you're engaging with the children, please abstain from checking your Facebook or your Instagram. Again, sometimes we're checking those things out, and the kid is next to us, and we have a friend that posts a picture that it's inappropriate. The kid's gonna think, he's not gonna think that you're looking at Instagram. He's gonna think that you're looking at other websites and so forth. Do not let the kids use their phone. If they want to call their parents, have them talk to one of our leaders or you, and make sure they do call their mom or dad. They cannot text, they cannot bring it out, because that will keep them away from engaging in the program and the classes that we're offering. Do not connect with kids in social media. I know sometimes they'll tell you add me on Facebook, Instagram. You think I don't post weird pictures on Instagram. It's gonna be okay, but please do not do that. Visitors, if you're going to bring a visitor, please have them go through Debbie Blashoff. Do not just bring he's my friend, we go to school, college together, it's going to be okay. Please make sure you go through them first. Again, all of you guys have to be live scanned. We need to protect your children, so please have them go through Debbie. When one of our kids gets sick or injured, please do not treat the kid if you're not first aid certified. Again, we're going to have nurses here at all times. So you bring him to a nurse, and the nurse will walk him over to the office. You do not leave your station at any time unless you are instructed. Emergency procedures. On your walkie or on your badge, if you have a walkie-talkie or a badge, you're going to have 3 different codes. Code 1 means medical emergency. If we're out in the playground and we have a kid that, God forbid it doesn't happen, but if he breaks his foot or something, we don't want to say, so-and-so, Mikey broke his foot, and then all the kids are going to get scared and yelling and so forth. So please don't do that. Just yell code 1 and give them your location. Code 1, 6 trees, and then a nurse will go over and assist you with that. Sometimes we have strangers that come out here, whether they are under the influence of some substance, or they're walking without a shirt, or they just we get a phone call from the school. We have to keep the kids safe, And our code for lockdown is code 2. So if you see somebody that is engaging in weird behavior or it threatens the safety over children, just get your walkie and say code 2, and then place the kids on a safe zone, and then lock your doors, and then wait for instructions. Like Isabella said, we'll turn on the TV, the radio, or something, or text somebody, and we'll let you know what to do next. If by any reasons you are short-staffed and you really need a lot of help with the behavior of your kids or activities that start fighting and so forth, code 3 means I need somebody, I need more staff. So just put it up. Just say again code 3, and we'll come to you as soon as we can. Again, in an event of active shooter, is evacuate, hide, and take action. Now, if you turn your page over, please. Now, if you read this with me, please. So our expectations, number 1 is always keep your youth information strictly confidential. If a child discloses something to you, like says, I'm going through these hard things at home, you don't want to be talking about it with other leader next to another child, or just keep it confidential. Talk to Debbie about it. Always use positive techniques, guidance. How many of you guys were here last year? Anybody? We have this cool things called the higher ground bucks. When a kid does a really good behavior, or they're really participating, and that's the only way we reward the kids. We do not bring lollipops, we do not bring candy. If you want to do that, please go through Joe. But please, as of right now, I'm telling you guys, the only way we reward kids is through higher ground bucks. Again, we always want to be a positive role model for the kids with loyal, patience, courtesy, tact, and maturity. Never be alone with a youth participant. This is very important. An event last year, we had a visitor, and then all the kids were in line. One of the kids was just getting out of control, and he was going to run away. So one of our staffs grabbed him from the backpack, just from the, from the thing on the backpack, and then the kids started yelling, "You're choking me! You're choking me!" If there were no staff there that witnessed that, then the kid would have gone home or school and said, like, somebody was choking me in higher ground. But since we have the policy never be alone with a child, the other staff said she wasn't like choking him, she was just pulling him from the backpack. Again, we're serving an at-risk youth population, so these kids will really test you and test your limit to see how far they could get away with. So please never be alone with the youth participant. Never leave them unsupervised. Again, that will run away. That will oftentimes they will run out through the cul-de-sac, or if they get bored, they're gonna run home and nobody's really there to watch them, and the parents come and bring them here. Never physically strike, spank, or shake, or slap a child. Never verbally humiliate, degrade, or threaten a child. Never sexually molest, harass, or inappropriately touch a child. Never use profanity. Never fraternize with the youth under 18 outside of higher ground activities. Never transport a youth participant. Never steal or misappropriate higher ground property or funds. Never come to higher ground under the influence of drugs or alcohol. And never bring a weapon to higher ground. So please keep all of those in mind. And higher ground is an equal opportunity statement. This is our statement. It is the policy of higher ground to provide equal volunteer opportunities to all persons regardless of age, race, color, sex, religion, physical or mental disability, medical condition, pregnancy, ancestry, marital status, sexual orientation, or national origin. It is also the policy of higher ground to comply with all federal and state laws. Now, if you guys read with me the harassment statement, please. It is the policy of higher ground to express and forbid any formal harassment of volunteers, employees, or staff. The term harassment includes, but is not limited to, slurs, jokes, and verbal, graphic, or physical conduct which relate to an individual, race, color, sex, religion, national origin, medical condition, citizenship, age, sexual orientation, or handicap. Harassment also includes sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, unwelcome or offensive touching, or the verbal or graphic or physical conduct of a sexual nature. Violation of this policy will be subject to a volunteer to disciplinary actions which may result in immediate discharge. Volunteers who feel that they are being harassed in any way by another volunteer or employee or program participant should inform the site supervisor immediately. Any concerns will be handled promptly and kept confidential, and an investigation will be conducted and appropriate disciplinary action will be taken. So please keep in mind, guys, again, we're modeling good behavior, treat each other right. I know a lot of us have college buddies here or school friends, and sometimes we might joke around harsh and so forth, but please don't do it in front of the kids. Again, in case of an incident, if a child is being way too out of control or you cannot handle it, being very disrespectful, please bring him to Debbie Blasha, which is the Director of Leadership, and right away fill out an incident report. This is what it looks like, and that is located right in at the beginning of room 5, which is right there, which is our office. So incident form, fill it out. You are the first witness. Don't wait for somebody else to fill it out, or if you bring him to Debbie, don't expect Debbie to fill it out. Just do it yourself, because you are the first witness again. We also have an accident report form, which almost looks the same. If a kid, hurt his hand, gets a cut, please fill it out right away. So thank you so much, and I look forward to working with you guys.